The 2025 WWE Royal Rumble delivered an unforgettable night of drama and excitement, with the undisputed championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens stealing the spotlight. Both men had overcome immense personal struggles and battles to reach this pivotal moment, making the stakes higher than ever. As they clashed for the most coveted title in professional wrestling, the intensity in the arena was palpable. However, no one could have anticipated the shocking betrayal that would unfold, altering the course of both their careers and leaving a lasting impact on the WWE universe. This was a night for the ages. The roots of the rivalry, a complex relationship built on tension. To fully understand the gravity of the Royal Rumble showdown, it's crucial to trace the origins of the tension between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Their paths had crossed in a variety of ways over the years, but their personal and professional relationship had been far from simple. It was the culmination of years of struggles, betrayals, and complex emotions that would ultimately shape the story of their rivalry. Cody Rhodes, the son of WWE legend Dusty Rhodes, had always carried the heavy burden of living up to his father's iconic legacy. From a young age, the expectations placed upon him were enormous. In the world of professional wrestling, there is no escaping the shadow of a legend, and Cody's entire career had been an ongoing quest to prove that he was more than just Dusty's son, that he was a force in his own right. Cody's journey had been marred by mistakes, missteps, and criticisms that followed him wherever he went. But with every failure, his resolve grew stronger. Each time he fell short of expectations, he picked himself back up and fought harder. His path to self-discovery and redemption had been painful but necessary. Each match was not just about winning or losing. It was about validating his worth, proving that he could stand on his own 2 feet. The initial spark that ignited the tension between these two men came in the form of an unsanctioned parking lot ambush. Owens had attacked Cody when he least expected it, blindsiding him in a dark and isolated parking lot. The viciousness of the attack left Cody battered and bruised, and Owens expected the assault to break him. What he didn't anticipate, however, was Cody's resilience. Instead of succumbing to Owens' brutal assault, Cody found a renewed sense of purpose. From that moment on, the rivalry became more than just personal. It became a battle for respect, for legacy, and for survival. The Royal Rumble, 2025. A battle for more than just the title. As the Royal Rumble approached, the anticipation for the showdown between Cody and Owens reached a fever pitch. It wasn't just about the undisputed championship, it was about proving who was the true alpha. For Cody, this match represented a culmination of everything he had fought for throughout his career. It was a chance to prove that he was not just Dusty Rhodes' son, but that he had earned his place at the top of the WWE mountain. The Rumble was his moment to validate his journey, to show the world that his struggles were not in vain, and to capture the gold that had eluded him for so long. For Owens, the match was about something much darker. While Cody was fighting to prove his worth, Owens was fighting to break him. Owens had nothing to prove to the world. He had already established himself as one of the most dangerous competitors in WWE history. But for him, the undisputed championship was more than just a title. It was a symbol of his power and control. Owens wanted to send a message not just to Cody, but to the entire WWE locker room, that no one could challenge his throne without facing severe consequences. As the opening bell rang, it was clear that the battle was going to be more than just a contest for gold. It was going to be a war. The two men locked eyes, each carrying the weight of their past, their ambitions, and their deep-seated grudges. From the moment the bell rang, Owens took control of the match. His aggressive, no-holds-barred style immediately put Cody on the defensive. Owens didn't care about finesse or technique. He wanted to inflict pain. His strikes were heavy, brutal, and unrelenting, as he sought to break Cody physically and mentally. A battle of wills, Cody's resilience against Owens' aggression. What Owens failed to anticipate was Cody's incredible resilience. Even in the face of Owens' overwhelming aggression, Cody refused to stay down. His fighting spirit burned brighter than ever. For every punishing strike Owens landed, Cody fired back with calculated precision, using his agility and technical skill to find openings in Owens' relentless onslaught. It quickly became clear that Cody wasn't just fighting for the undisputed championship. He was fighting for his legacy, his pride, and his identity. The match quickly evolved from a straightforward title bout into a grueling test of endurance. Owens, relying on his size and strength, tried to wear Cody down with devastating power moves and strikes. But Cody, battered and bloodied, refused to break. He fought with the intensity of someone who had been knocked down too many times, only to rise stronger with each fall. The crowd rallied behind him, sensing the fire within him as he absorbed blow after blow, refusing to let Owens have the satisfaction of breaking him. The battle intensified as Owens took the fight outside the ring, using the steel barricades as weapons. The sound of Cody's body crashing into the steel was deafening, and for a moment it seemed like the match could be over. But once again, Cody proved that he was no ordinary competitor. Despite the pain, despite the blood, he found the strength to push himself back to his feet. The crowd erupted in applause as he showed the world that he wasn't going to back down. Owens had underestimated the depth of Cody's resolve, and that was a mistake that would cost him dearly. The ladder match, a desperate play for supremacy. As the match wore on, the intensity reached a boiling point. Owens, desperate to assert his dominance, introduced a steel ladder into the equation. The sight of the ladder raised the stakes even higher, turning the match into an even more dangerous and unpredictable contest. Owens saw the ladder as a tool for further destruction, a weapon to be used to break Cody once and for all. But Cody wasn't intimidated. In fact, the sight of the ladder seemed to ignite something inside him, pushing him to fight harder. Cody launched himself at Owens with a ferocity that shocked the crowd, smashing the ladder into Owens' body with a resounding crash. The impact sent Owens sprawling to the mat, and for a brief moment, it seemed like Cody might finally have the upper hand. With Owens down, Cody climbed the ladder, reaching for the undisputed championship. The crowd held its breath, knowing that this could be the moment Cody had been waiting for. But Owens, ever the fighter, wasn't about to let it end that easily. In a final, desperate attempt to retain his title, Owens launched himself at Cody, knocking him off the ladder and sending him crashing to the mat once again. The match had transformed from a standard championship contest into a brutal battle for survival. Both men were willing to sacrifice everything to win, and neither was going to walk away without a fight. The shocking betrayal, a moment that changed everything. As the match neared its climax, something happened that no one saw coming. With Cody seemingly on the verge of victory, Owens, in a shocking turn of events, betrayed his own beliefs and attacked Cody with a vicious, career-altering blow. This wasn't just a fight for the title anymore. It had become a personal war, and Owens was determined to leave a mark on Cody's legacy that would never be erased. The betrayal was swift, calculated, and brutal. Owens, who had once been a close ally to Cody, unleashed a devastating assault that left Cody in a heap on the mat. The crowd's reaction was one of stunned silence as Owens stood over his fallen opponent, a cold smirk on his face. The betrayal was more than just physical. It was a betrayal of everything they had once stood for. The friendship, the respect, the shared struggles, they were all gone in an instant. As Owens stood victorious, the WWE Universe was left to pick up the pieces of what had just transpired. Cody Rhodes, once again, had fallen short of his ultimate goal. But this time, it wasn't just about losing a championship. It was about losing everything he had fought for. The landscape of WWE had changed in an instant, and the ramifications of this betrayal would echo throughout the company for years to come. The aftermath, a new era in WWE. With Owens' shocking betrayal of Cody Rhodes, the WWE Universe was left in a state of disbelief. What had started as a battle for the undisputed championship had turned into a battle for the very soul of WWE. Owens had sent a message that no one was safe, not even those closest to him. The future of both Owens and Cody Rhodes hung in the balance as the WWE Universe waited to see what would come next. For Cody, the loss was devastating. The journey to reclaim his legacy had been a long and painful one, but this final betrayal was the hardest blow of all. Now, as he picked himself up from the wreckage, he was faced with a new choice: move forward or seek revenge against the man who had shattered his dreams. Only time would tell how this betrayal would shape the future of both men and the WWE. Cody's climb. The reach for glory. With Owens incapacitated, the path was clear for Cody to claim the prize he had been striving for throughout his entire career. The ladder, which had been a symbol of danger and chaos, now stood before him as the gateway to his destiny. His fingers clenched around the rungs of the ladder, and with each agonizing step, the weight of his journey seemed to press down on him. The climb was no easy feat. His body screamed in protest, every muscle aching, every breath shallow from the punishment he had endured. But despite the pain, Cody pressed on. As he ascended, memories of his struggles flashed through his mind. He thought of his early years in WWE, where he had often felt like he was living in the shadow of his father, Dusty Rhodes. He remembered the mistakes he had made, the criticisms, the doubts. He thought of the moment he had left WWE, seeking his own identity in the world of independent wrestling, and eventually in AEW. He had worked tirelessly to build himself into a force, to carve out his own path, to prove to the world that he wasn't just Dusty's son. He was Cody Rhodes, a man who had overcome every obstacle to get where he was. The aftermath, redemption, and reflection. As the referee raised Cody's hand in victory, the weight of the moment seemed to settle over him like a heavy cloak. The cheers of the crowd were deafening, but Cody's mind was elsewhere. The realization of what he had just accomplished began to sink in. This wasn't just about holding the title. This was the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and personal growth. It was about proving to himself that he could stand tall without leaning on the legacy of his father. It was about silencing the doubters who had questioned whether Cody Rhodes could ever be more than a second-generation wrestler. As the crowd chanted his name, Cody allowed himself a brief moment of pure joy. His journey had been long and filled with heartache. He had experienced the highs and lows of professional wrestling, his rise through the ranks, his eventual departure from WWE, and his return to reclaim his destiny. Each step had been a lesson in perseverance, in fighting through adversity, and in never giving up. For Cody, this victory was more than just a personal triumph. It was a victory for his fans, for everyone who had believed in him when it seemed like the odds were insurmountable. His family, his friends, and the WWE Universe had stood by him through thick and thin, and now, as the new undisputed champion, he was finally able to deliver on the promise he had made to them all. He had earned this moment. Owens' defeat. A heartbreaking blow. But as Cody celebrated, the sight of Kevin Owens lying defeated in the ring reminded him of the harsh realities of professional wrestling. Owens had entered this match with one goal: to claim the championship and prove that he was the most dominant force in WWE. But in the end, Owens had fallen short. His pride, his arrogance, his belief that he was invincible had all been shattered by Cody's relentless drive. Owens lay motionless in the ring, his body battered and bruised. His disappointment was palpable. He had come so close, yet he had failed to reach the top. The mental toll of his loss seemed to hit him harder than the physical pain. For Owens, this defeat would be a bitter pill to swallow. The undisputed championship had been his ultimate prize, and now it was slipping through his fingers. Cody's final climb, a journey fulfilled with Owens incapacitated and Zayn standing by. Cody saw his chance. The ladder was his once again, and this time there was no one to stop him. Every painful step, every sacrifice had led him here, to this moment. He began his ascent, the weight of everything he had endured pushing him forward. This was no longer just about the undisputed championship. It was about proving to the world and to himself that he was worthy of everything he had fought for. When Cody finally reached the top of the ladder and grasped the title, the crowd erupted into cheers. Cody Rhodes, the man who had overcome every obstacle, had finally conquered the mountain. The journey had been long and filled with obstacles, but now he had achieved his dream. The celebration was only beginning. But Cody knew that the road ahead would be just as challenging as the new champion, with new rivals and new obstacles to face. This was just the beginning of a new chapter in his career.